Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be episode 2 of our competitor Q little series. What we're gonna do is go over some barbell efficiency tips and how to move faster and how to move more efficiently without totally killing yourself in the workout. I very easily could split this video up into probably 2 or 3 videos, but screw it. We're gonna throw all of it into one and just roll with it. We'll see how it goes. First of all, I want to go over the fact that you don't need to wear a belt for all of your lifts, and I cannot stress this enough. I know for about a year, I think I hashtagged Operation No Belt it was, because I didn't want to rely on a belt in competition for any reason. So unless I was really maxing out a lift or I was lifting 90% and above, I really tried to stay away from a belt and really focus on learning how to brace and create tension throughout my body so that I can support it myself, and I didn't have to rely in a competition having to constantly grab my belt, put it on, undo it, put it back on, because it gets really annoying and it wastes time. So you want to try to create that tension and understand how to brace and breathe properly so you can create a natural belt throughout your core without relying on materialistic items. Your core is your belt. Core stiffness transmits stability through your hands all the way down to your toes. Bracing is not squeezing your abs and that's it. Bracing is not pulling your belly button in, and that is a cue some coaches will use, is pull your belly button into your spine. That's just sucking it in and going. You don't want to do that. You actually want to do the opposite so that you're breathing and you're fully expanding your stomach, so you're getting all the breath throughout your belly, and then you are going to pretend that you're getting punched in the gut and you're going to hold that, and you should still be able to breathe. So if you're just pulling your belly button into your spine and you're just inhaling and holding that, squeezing your abs, you probably can't breathe very well. If you do choose to wear a belt, I would recommend only using it for 80% and above lifts. I really only use it for like 85% and above lifts. And the belt is not a crutch that you use as a substitute, again, for a core. You should not be using an empty bar. You should not be doing wall balls with a belt on. And honestly, if you do snatches properly and you keep that bar close enough, I've never, ever been able to snatch with a belt on because I keep that bar path so freaking close to my body that I constantly hit it. So again, you need to learn how to create a natural belt around your core and brace properly so you do not have to rely on it. But if you are going to max out a lift or you are doing reps or something at 80% and above, then you can use the belt. However, the belt is, again, not a substitute. You are going to brace and breathe against the belt. So it just creates another wall to kind of help keep you a little more stable. So you're still going to put it on, not as tight as possible to where you can't breathe, but tight enough to where you can breathe in, still expand your stomach against the belt, and you're going to use that to kind of keep you a little more stable. Your next best tip is going to be learning how to hook grip. If you don't already hook grip, you're gonna have a very bad time. You absolutely need to learn how to hook grip, and I'm sorry if your thumbs hurt, suck it up, learn how to hook grip. Best thing to do is you're gonna tape your thumb. So I like using the wad and done tape because it already comes pre-cut into these strips. Grip is going to save your life in a whole lot of ways. Let me tell you what. One, it's going to create natural lifting straps using just your thumbs. You're gonna find less fatigue on your forearms and on your grip, so that way you can get more reps in a set. It allows you to keep the bar closer, so if you guys are doing a max lift or anything like that, you could probably add about 5 to 10 pounds by just using hook grip and rotating your knuckles in to keep it a little closer to you. The way you're going to do hook grip, you are going to wrap your thumbs around the bar and you're going to wrap your fingers over your thumbs. So a lot of people are like, oh, but my hands are too small. Well, you can still get one finger over. It's gonna be better than nothing because your thumb is actually a lot stronger than the rest of your fingers. So if you can lock that in first, so thumbs over and then fingers over, I always do my 2 fingers over, this will help you guys keep the bar in, rotate those knuckles in so it's closer to your hips, and then it'll help keep your lats engaged also. So I know for snatching, whenever I hook grip on a snatch, I can feel my pinkies being pushed into the bar a little more, and it helps turn my lats on a little better, as opposed to just squeezing it really tight like this and just the inside of my hands feeling the most pressure, not on the pinkies, which will translate all the This does hurt at first. I know it does. I was very anti-hook grip for a few years. However, if you do deadlifts, like heavy deadlifts and heavy deadlift holds for a couple weeks with hook grip and really just suck it up, it just gets better. It becomes more natural. And if you tape your thumbs, it'll help them from getting blistered, and it helps you hold on a little bit more, especially if your thumbs are really sweaty because it's Florida, it gets humid as hell. Honestly, nothing is gonna feel worse with a hook grip than doing that. If you do like 300-pound deadlifts with a hook grip, then 95-pound snatches are gonna feel like cake. Okay, so the first lift I'm gonna show you guys is how to do and cycle snatches and cleans, just touch and go regular power. And honestly, you can do them with a squat too, it doesn't really matter. But basically where you're touching the floor every single time. So when you are locked out, whether it is a clean or it is a snatch, the first thing you're going to do to receive that is lead with your elbows. So a lot of times when I get newer athletes in here, they lock something out overhead. They're like, well, how am I going to get it down? Like, do I just drop it? Do I just, you know, and rainbow it down straight arm? No, you're gonna lead with your elbows. So you're gonna be locked out like this, whoop, and elbows while you lean back. So lock your elbows. Elbows start coming down, you're starting to lean back. You wanna keep that bar just like you're going up. Elbows, and then overhead, that bar is nice and close. You wanna replicate that the same way coming down. So you still want that bar path to be close. You still want the bar to go up and down just like it did to go up, and you move your body around it. So the elbows will start to lead, you will start to lean back. This is in slow motion, and then once you get to just below eye level, you will flip it and then come back down to your hips. So I noticed that when I am doing a lot of barbell cycling, I don't do it automatically, but it kind of naturally happens, and I see it all the time in my videos. As I'm starting to descend, about halfway through the descent, I will notice that I will come up to come back down. So, and I'll show you how my feet work with this, because it's like I want to ride it down with me. So as it's coming down, I'll notice I push up to my toes a little bit, and then I can go down with it. So that way it's not just coming crashing down. So let me show you what my feet look like. Next, normally you guys are going to snatch, and you're gonna come down back to your hips, just like you guys did to come up. You hit your hips and go overhead. Well, you're going to come down and hit your hips and then go down to the floor. That's fine. If this weight is heavy, you should hit your hips. And if the weight's heavy enough for me, I will hit my hips. If the weight is light or moderately light, skip your hips. Brush it quickly or skip it, but make sure that bar stays close. So if I'm doing something like Isabel, where it's a 95-pound snatch and that is not that heavy for me, I'm able to come up and bring it down and keep it close, but I don't hit my hips. So I come down, close, skip my hips, and still hit the floor. But I'm still leaning back, my chest is still tall, and I'm still keeping that bar going up and down close to the hips as possible, so that way I'm not really frying out my back or rounding my back, what we like to call grid back. You want to keep your hips and your butt back, so it's a lot of hinging. So as you guys are coming down, it's sending the hips back, it's sending the knees back, and the shins stay vertical, so that way, again, the bar path is vertical with the bar, and it is staying very close to your body, and you are not sending it all the way forward, rainbowing it forward, dropping it in forward in front of you. If the weight is very, very light, like if you're doing Randy, where it's 75 power snatches at 75, 55, which is stupid light. This is if it's relatively light for you, not that it's just light and you don't normally RX, but you're gonna try Randy at RX, and that is not a super light weight for you. It should feel like an empty bar. If it's light, muscle snatch it, that's going to be faster. And what I mean by that, muscle snatch. You don't want to waste time dipping back under that bar if you don't have to. If you start getting tired, then you can, but you can save a couple seconds by just muscle snatching it and pressing it out if it is light enough. I can't stress that enough. Don't do it unless it's light or your back is gonna be caca. Now, if you are going to do something like Grace, where you're gonna do clean and jerks for a lot of reps at a pretty lightweight, then you wanna utilize that catch position also being your dip position and combining the two. So normally if you guys are doing clean and jerk, you're gonna catch it, stand up, and then you'll go right overhead. If you're doing Grace and this weight is light, what you're gonna do is you're going to catch it, stay in that dip, right into your overhead position. So you're gonna combine the two, basically cutting out the need to take a breath in the middle unless you really need to take a breath in the middle. But if this weight is light, especially in the beginning of Grace, try to get through as fast as you can, as many as possible, by using that same dip to go right up from it. So clean, right up. Breathe as you guys are cycling through it. Clean, dip, right overhead, stand up, catch your breath, and then back down. I know my Grace time I think is like a minute 14 unbroken because I did it that way and because I'm also pretty short. So you wanna make sure that that bar is staying very, very close when you guys are coming up, when you are coming down, and utilize that same dip position, because if you think about it, 30 clean and jerks, 30 transitions, if you stop every time to break that up, that's 30 spots. Even if that's a second at a time, that's another 30 seconds on an already very, very short workout. So on something that's like a minute 14 or 2 minutes, adding 30 seconds is monumental. That's like a quarter of the workout. What you might have also noticed that when I do Grace, because that weight is usually lighter for me too, I will also skip the shoulders coming on the way down. So I will hip to my shoulder, use that dip, press it overhead, stand up, elbows, keep the bar close, skip the shoulders, skip the hips, but keep it close, and go right down. So coming up, hit the hips, hit the shoulders, coming down, skip it, but brush close by, hips, brush close by, and that has to stay really, really close to your body. Still maintain that vertical bar path. You'll just lean back against it, send the hips back against it. You move around your body to get that to go up and down, and that way your shoulders will thank you, your back will thank you, your grip will thank you if you're hook gripping, and you'll breeze through that workout. If you find that rhythm and just keep going and still practice your breathing on when to exhale and when to inhale, dude, cake, seriously, trust me. All right, next, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the bounce and the hang clean and the bounce and the hang snatch. You'll see it more in the hang clean than you will the hang snatch. I get this all the time, and how do you bounce it? How do you not bruise your thighs? How do you be more efficient and faster there? So what we're gonna do is go over the bouncing, hang, clean, and snatch technique. Just like we went over before, you still lead with the elbows down. You still keep your chest tall, lean back a little bit, keeping that vertical bar path, but you are going to catch it in your hips with your arms locked out. So if you guys are coming down here and your arms are still bent, it's because you're leaning forward. If you lean back a little more, now the arms are straight. So you'll hear sometimes some coaches say when the arms bend, the power ends, because you're not able to really use your body as leverage anymore. You're kind of just like staying very tight and trying to like muscle snatch or muscle clean that up. So we want our arms to still be straight, to still use that as a lever when we pull back. So as we're coming down, the elbows are still going to lead down. We're going to lean back to keep that bar path vertical. We're going to make sure our arms stay nice and straight. And we're gonna catch dipped with our quads flexed. So I don't mean necessarily keep them locked out, like your knees shouldn't be locked out. They should be bent a little bit because you're gonna catch it right in that dip position because you're gonna go right back into it. So you wanna catch it in that dip position, arms straight, quads flexed. You want them turned on and you want the tension there. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep banging it against your soft quads and it's gonna leave you very bruised and it's gonna be very inefficient because you're not gonna have like that muscle there to help kind of pop it right back up. Also make sure that you guys practice speed under the bar. There's lots of drills you guys can do to be faster under the bar and dropping, and that's gonna be really key too, because as important as it is to be in that same setup, if you guys quickly pop, but you're like really slow getting under, it's gonna make for a really ugly catch. So you still wanna be able to be fast getting underneath that bar. Hook grip is very important. You guys, your grip will fry if you keep your thumbs over the bar like this. And you won't be able to keep that bar in as close as you want to make this faster and get a few more reps in. So keep your hook grip, and if you find your mobility is not the best at the top, holding that on there, what you guys can do is that you can release your hook grip at the top, but you're gonna have to re-grip it coming down. So what you can do is catch it, open up your grip, and then you're gonna do an extra little bounce up to get it, catch it, and then bring it back down. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is me maintaining my hook grip. This is me having to release it. When the weight is very heavy, you will find that you probably have to release it at the top, at least to catch your breath. That's fine, but you're going to have to re-grip it on the way down to catch it. So I do it too when it's really heavy, it's totally fine, but practice doing that when it's lighter weight so that way it feels really natural when you guys are gonna do it. All right guys, so that will wrap up today's episode 2 of the barbell cycling for our Competitors Cues series. Hopefully you guys did learn something. If there's another movement that you guys wish to see coming up, please drop a comment or slide in my DMs and let me know. I hope you guys liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can. Subscribe for more coming up. Thank you all for tuning in, and send this to a friend who needs a little bit more help on their technique with cycling a barbell. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of our competitors, no, we're gonna do something different. Dang it, truck! You want to utilize your video. No, we're not gonna like that. Then you want to utilize I don't like any of these. Move along, move along, move along. Important as is, because that's important. I don't like that. Hello. Please, after you.